iHeart, get ready. Fantasy football is here. Welcome to the Scout Fantasy Show. ScoutFantasy.com is home to the Fantasy Football World Championships and the best players in the world. Real money winners giving their secrets to help you win. Now exclusively on iHeart. This is the Scout Fantasy Show with your host, the one, the only, Dr. Roto.
Everybody, it's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards. Get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. All right, I want to spend a little time today talking about some DFS strategies. I'll do some in baseball. I might even do some in golf today to see how I feel. I don't know. We'll throw it out. Let's see. I want to start with something with baseball for a second. So there's a few things that we should discuss. I think one of the things to discuss, and people have mentioned it many times, is to go and see what the top teams are doing. Who won, right? So I'm sitting here in a league and I see the top 10 teams, right? So I was in the Grand Slam last night. I came in 259th out of 4,901 of my closest friends. I put up a score of a pretty decent score of 180, 180, but the winner was 250, 261, right? The winner was 261. I'm 80 points from first place. That's far. So, and I had a pretty good night. I'm not upset about my night. I had a pretty good night. But what I need to do is to look and see what moves the top guys made, and did that help or hurt me, right? So, I pitched Charlie Morton last night. He was 9.9% owned. The winner had Carlos Carrasco, who was 10.4% owned. Carrasco put up 52 points. Morton put up 35. I liked Carrasco. I really did. I loved Carrasco, as a matter of fact. But I was worried that I couldn't afford him. And I should have paid for him. Had I paid for him, I get the 17 points. That would have helped me get to 200. A big discrepancy was I had Matt Wieters. This guy had Salvador Perez. Now, when I'm looking at this guy's team, Sal Perez looks like a one-off. It's a one-off. What do I mean by a one-off? There was no stacking involved. He went in the game, so what he did was, and we'll see later, he had a raise stack, but he threw a raise stack with a guy from the other team. That's always a smart idea. Tommy G was the one who taught me that idea in football, that concept. So basically, if you have the Giants and the Packers and you think the game is going to be high scoring, you want to have guys on both sides of the ball, right? You want to have Aaron Rodgers and Jordy Nelson, but I want Beckham too, because if the game is going to be close, probably Beckham and Jordy Nelson are doing their thing. I went with Wieters because I thought he did a home run. I thought it was a little revenge factor. I like the narrative. Ubaldo Jimenez is a train wreck. So Sal Perez and Wieters, that cost me 30 points. So right there, we're looking at 47 points from Carrasco and Wieters. Next, Carrasco and Salvador Perez. At first base, I went with Mitch Moreland. This guy went with Logan Morrison. I don't regret going with Mitch Moreland. I really liked Mitch Moreland. I hate Willie Peralta. He was 4.9% owned. I thought he should have had a better day. But Logan Morrison played great. Had a home run, 2 RBIs. Look, that was the right stack to have against Chris Young, who's disgusting. We both had Robinson Cano, right, at second base. Both had Robinson Cano, both paid $4,000. At third base, he had a mini stack there with Kyle Seager, and I went with Evan Longoria. So as you'll see later, I had a Mariners stack, and he had a Rays stack. I did have a couple of Rays. I just had the wrong Rays. I had Longoria and Dickerson. He had Dickerson and Brad Miller and Lomo. Big difference. So Longoria gave me 6.2. Kyle Seager gave him 15. That's 9 more points. I had John Segura. He had Brad Miller. I guess right there, that $1,500 in salary was what I could have used that a little bit to pay for Carlos Carrasco. But they were pretty close in numbers. Segura, I thought, was a great start. He gave me 18.6 points, and he was 3% owned. I mean, I really like that. So I did everything right there with Segura. I got a guy who I liked. It was a little expensive, but he's 3% owned. Brad Miller was 22.6% owned. Now, we both had Ben Gamel, right? Both with 50 points, and you really needed Ben Gamel in order to win some big money yesterday. We both had Corey Dickerson, and I had Andrew Benintendi as a one-off, and he had Rajai Davis as a one-off. Benintendi was 4,100, Rajai Davis was 28, which allowed him to get Carrasco in. Benintendi gave me 22 points. Rajai Davis gave him 21. So the big differences were Carrasco and the catcher. That was big, right? Those were huge. And then Seager, right? Those were the really big things. And he saved a lot of money with Brad Miller. So the next guy, the guy who came in second, he had Carrasco 2, right? I had Gary Sanchez, or he had Gary Sanchez, excuse me. Then he did Morrison, Longoria, Miller, Rasmus. And all those guys hit. Morrison 22, Miller 21, Rasmus 21, Longoria 6. He had Cano, he had Ben Gamel, and then he had Aaron Alter, who I really liked. But what did he do with Alter? What did he do with Alter? Once again, he put a guy in that game. So Gamel and Cano going one way, Alter going the other. That's smart. That's smart. People don't do that enough. So what I'm telling you to do, and what I'm telling you as we're watching, let me go to even the third game here. Fall from grace. This guy, what did he do? He had the Rizzo, Bryant, Jav Baez stack. And then he won off Sanchez and Dietrich and Mookie. I don't think we can learn a whole lot here from this dude. Let's check out this other team here. All right, yeah. So this guy had Lomo, Miller, Kiermaier, Rasmus, Gamel, Seager, Cano, Tuffy, Go Switch. He did 4 and 4. 4 and 4 is traditional, right? 4 and 4 is a traditional way to do it. Now, we've discussed a lot of times that 4 and 4 is a little risky. And what do I mean by that? 4 and 4 is when we stack 4 guys from one team and 4 guys for another team. That's kind of how we did it in the old days. And if teams go off like they did yesterday, you will win a lot of money. This guy here came in 9th in this tournament and won $500. Okay? And he had Max Scherzer, who put up 55. Right? Max Scherzer put up 55 and he went 4 and 4 with 2 cheap stacks. He did the Mariner stack. Tuffy, Go Switch, and Gamel were cheap, right? And look at what else he did. He didn't worry that. So Cano batted 3rd, Seager 4th, Gamel 2nd, but Tuffy, Go Switch was 8th. Didn't matter. 8, whatever. You know how a lot of us like to stack in the middle? 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, whatever it is. So let's go back to 4 and 4. 4 and 4 is when I get 4 guys from one team and 4 in another. That seems to be going away. People are more going 3-3. 3-2-2, right? Guys, right? 3 guys on one team. So what did I do here yesterday? I had Gamel, Segura, Cano. I had Longoria, Dickerson. I had Moreland, Benintendi. I won off Wieters. So 3-3-2, 3-2-2-2-1, whatever it is, that's what people are doing. But when you go 4-4, if your 2 stacks hit, boom, you're my rich friend. And those stacks hit. So what am I showing you here? I'm showing you there are many different ways to win. But pitching, you need Scherzer, Carrasco, Morton got you money. Cano got you money. Ben Gamel got you money. Colby Rasmus got you money. Logan Morrison got you money. Maybe you didn't have the Tampa stack. You probably should have. Being quite honest with you, you probably should have. Why? Because Chris Young stinks. Here's another guy. He came in 4th. Lomo, Miller, Rasmus, Dickerson. Cano, Seager, Gamel. And then he won off Gary Sanchez and had Carrasco. That's smart. Those were the 2 stacks. So what I want you to do tonight is I want you to be looking for the right stacks tonight. or this afternoon, if you're playing today in the afternoon DFS, who are the stacks that are going to go off? Who are the 2 stacks and go all in? You may lose. There is no doubt about that. But this is the way to win, right? This is the way to win. Now, sometimes if you want the better pitcher, like tonight, if you want Yu Darvish, you're going to have to go for a cheaper stack. So what you might want to do is look for a crappy pitcher, right? Now, but everybody knows the crappy pitchers, right? Everybody knows, that Chase Anderson is disgusting. So the Red Sox are going to be expensive. I have to look for the cheaper stack. So, look, people like the Diamondbacks tonight, but what about the Tigers? Zach Godley, is he scaring you? The Tigers are probably going to put up 4 or 5 runs tonight. That's a good cheap stack to own to help me get in Yu Darvish. So I could go Yu Darvish with a mini Tiger stack. Now, if I do a mini Tiger stack, I'm going to try to get in at least one guy from the Diamondbacks too, because I think this is going to be a high-scoring game, right? So if I go Miguel Cabrera and, Justin Upton, I'm going to try to get in Chris Owings. You see what I'm saying? A couple of guys on teams that I think are going to be high-scoring. And that's the way to roll. That's the way to deal with it. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. You got to grind it out, and some nights you'll be on the right stack, or what you think is the right stack, and you'll go up against a pitcher who's really hot. What if Matt Cain throws a 2-hitter today against the Mets? What are you going to do? Did you do the wrong thing by stacking against Cain? Most likely not, no. But Cain had a good start. So what can I tell you? That happens in baseball. It doesn't usually happen in football, but it happens in baseball. All right, I want to talk about something else here. I'm going to get to a little golf. You guys know how much I love DFS golf. It really is. It may be my second favorite DFS sport. I like it because you get a big old fat 4-day sweat. You get a 4-day sweat, which I love. I do. Right, what do I mean by a 4-day sweat? In baseball, it's one night. In golf, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I put my, couple $100 in, and I watch it sit there for 4 beautiful days. I don't have to do $100 a night, right? Golf, you can do $20, it'll last you 4 days. So golf, if you're not rich, is a really great sport to play because it can last you a while. But what I don't like what's happening this week, in DraftKings especially, is the soft pricing. So what do I mean by soft pricing? It means that I can get in an all-star team. So I'm going to do a team very quickly now, very quickly. I'm going to put in John Rahm because everybody likes John Rahm. I'm going to put in Ricky Fowler because everybody likes Ricky Fowler. I'm going to put in Adam Scott because Adam Scott is on the cheaper side. I'm going to go down a little bit. Everybody likes this kid, Tyrell Hatton, right? He's a very popular guy. I still have $15,000, right? $15,000. I'll get in Matt Kuchar, because he's safe. I still have $7,200. I'll throw in, Zach Johnson. So I have Rahm, Fowler, Scott, Hatton, Kuchar, Johnson. How long did it take me to do that lineup? 10 seconds? 20 seconds? I don't even have to know a lot about golf to put a lineup in like that. I know Rahm has been great. Fowler's been great. Scott is a very good player who's on the cheaper side. Hatton has been exceptional this year. Matt Kuchar, steady as they come. And Zach Johnson, they needed a guy. Now, if I wanted to be risky here, maybe I take Zach Johnson out and I'll drop in, I got a guy who knows a guy, right? I'll throw in, here we go, JB Holmes. Boom. Whatever. I don't like JB, I'll take him out, and I'm okay with taking him out. Fine. Adam Hadwin. Boom. I left $400. Big deal. So I have Rahm, Fowler, Scott, Hatton, Kuchar, Hadwin. I tell you something. If you're listening to this podcast, I might play that lineup. You might win some money with it. You might win money with that lineup right there. Here, I'll give you the pen click. Rahm, Fowler, Scott, got to write this down, Hatton, Kuch, and Hadwin. Now, my problem is it should take me longer than 32 seconds to come up with a lineup. it should really make me think, oh, what do I do? Who do I get in? Blah, 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 blah. Here, I'll show you another lineup. And this is why I really don't like it. I'm going to do more stars and scrubs here. All right, so I'm going to get in Rory, and I'm going to get in Sergio, because they've been great. I'm going to go back to my guy, Adam Hadwin, who's super-duper cheap, right? Let me get him in there. Boom. I still have $21,000 to play with. Let me see if I'll go back to Hatton. I still have $14,000 to play with Hatton. I'll throw in maybe Martin Keimer. I still have $6,900 to play with there, and I'll get Wes Bryant in there. Look at that. I got Rory and Sergio. I got Martin Keimer and Hatton, Wes Bryant and Hadwin. You know what? Click. Rory, Sergio, Hadwin, Hatton, Keimer, Bryant. And that's the stars and the scrubs that I did for you in 5 seconds. I mean, how long did that take? That's not good. Now I know that here's the problem. There are 176,000 people who can play in this. Because the winner's going to get $100,000. $4 in a dream, baby. $4 in a dream. But 176,000, man, that's a lot of guys. That's a lot of people you're playing against. And you know what? Everybody likes their team as much as I like my team. Now, am I going to play? Of course I'm going to play. I'm probably going to put 10 lineups in there. I'll put $40 in there and see what happens. And if I win $100,000, I'll say to Mrs. Roto, I spent $40 to win $100K. And I'm going to pay off all our credit card debts. I'm going to pay for summer camp. I'm going to take the family on a vacation. I'm going to put some money in the bank. Who's a hero now? Dr. Roto. So I guess it makes sense, and I know why DraftKings does it, but I want it to be hard. I want it to be impossible. I want that sixth golfer to be some dude I've never heard of before. I want to be getting some Yuta Ikeda. That's who I want, right? I want some random dude who I've never heard of before. If I do that, right? If I do that, that's really good. See, if I do that, and I get Yuta Ikeda and he wins, then I learn, how good am I? Every idiot could put in Martin Keimer and Adam Hadwin, but how many people could put in Yuta Ikeda? I can't even say his name right. Yuta Ikeda-san. I apologize if you have any fans out here in America. All right, so be careful when you play. Check out scoutfantasy.com. 2 things. 1, Ryan Baroff writes a great article. And 2, we have a PGA DFS hub. And we've got this guy Mark and this guy Al have been killing it. Killing it. I'm not even, I wish I'm playing. I'm not. They're killing it. I'm going to have them adopt me because I need the money. All right, so please check that out. Go to scoutfantasy.com, enter the promo code ROTO, that's ROTO. Pay for 1 month, get 2 more for free, and hopefully you'll be a winner this weekend too, and you'll be my newest rich friend. All right, guys, time now to put away the insurance cards, put away the copay. The office is closed, my friends. Good luck with your DFS lineups. Check out our MLB Optimizer. Check out our daily, our golf hub. Right? And of course, check out playffwc.com. Be part of what we're doing in football. We have the best football game around, and I encourage you to join and sign up and draft today. All right, guys, have a great day. Be well, and take care.
Thanks for listening to the Scout Fantasy Show. There's never been a better time to join the Scout Army. Visit scoutfantasy.com. Use the promo ROTO for 2 months free. And don't forget, fantasy players, please thumbs up the podcast on the iHeart app. See you next time. Go Scouts!